Believe we are. So I always want to start YouTube first. We're going to give YouTube the love. So we're already up. I'm just showing my PnL. This is kind of what I've been trading. I got a couple bad trades, and this one's really bad. I didn't like that one. But guess what happened there? As you can imagine, Super Fader Man popped up again. That's where Super Fader Man came in, and Super Fader Man cannot be consistently coming in. It's not a good idea. We'll be looking at charts here in a second, so give me a second to just set things up. All right. There we are. We're starting Trading View. Okay, well, I started it. There we go. We're live. Waiting for a save there. We'll look at charts here in a second. That's the PnL for, I've been calling this in Discord, or just calling levels in Discord. So I had a lot of things to do. One of the things I was working on actually is an updated BTC analysis video, or technical analysis, that will be rolling out here right after the stream. So we'll upload it, do a thumbnail, get it pushed out. Let's go to the charts. Actually, let me share this out first. Sorry, I got to focus on my process. If I don't focus on my process, then stuff doesn't happen. So I'm focusing on my process for doing streaming so I don't forget stuff. Okay, damn it, Jim. Here we go. All right. Also, everybody feel free to add comments. We'll get into the trading session here in a second. All right. So here we go. Let's go to the charts. Let's look and see what we got here. As you can see, I've been trading CL. There's my executions. I don't have executions turned on NQ because it would be almost impossible to read. The chart. Watch me get a... No, I'm not going to say that out loud. Here we go. So welcome all. Let's see what trade looks like on the NQ. At least it's stalling. It did hit. We called this. It was plain and obvious where it was going on chart 3, right up to 129. I think it wants to tag 160 here in the afternoon. So I think that's what we trade against. We're going to put some entries in on kind of the pullback side here. And we'll see if we get picked up on a pullback there. We'll start an initial position if we get picked up. I was in that overall CL sell-off there.
Order filled.
Got picked up. That's what we expect. Pull it back a little bit more. We'll see if we get picked up on another one. On a deeper pullback. Kind of fading this move, so we probably should be selling down to that. Actually, if that gets down there, we probably don't want to be part of that move. So I would say probably the lowest, the area where we want to get picked up actually is 047. So we'll watch to see if this is going to switch over in a momentum move. Chart 4 so far is bias and momentum long. Chart 2 is starting to roll over, so we'll watch for that. We will watch for that. But I don't think, it does not look like chart 2 is going to roll over yet. We'll see. We will see. Going forward, I'm going to be entertaining myself with thumbnails. So hopefully everybody is fine. I'll try not to be too offensive. That's not really a question mark, is it? Well, we're up about $200 on that single trade there. CL, we've got another level. So really, I guess the decision on CL is, do we trade up to that level? So it hit the RDA. Do we trade up to 69.80? I think we do. I think that's what we do, man. I think we trade up to that level.
Order filled.
All right. Got picked up on the CL trade. Not going to give it much room. We might scale into that, but at this point in time, I'm not going to give it much room. We passed our first pivot in the afternoon. So we're past past P1 afternoon. Not much happened there. Volatility has slowed massively. Let's see where we're at. There's no known news events that I know of. Yeah. The balance sheet is at 4:30 Eastern, so it'd be 3:30 after market close, the balance sheet. So tomorrow, the employment situation at 8:30, the consensus. And then we really don't have much tomorrow on deck. So, yeah. We almost want to reverse that position.
Order filled.
So let's sell that. Let's not trade against momentum here. Let's be a little bit smarter than that, huh? Let's not trade against the momentum of the chart and the bias of the chart. Probably the smartest thing to do. Any questions? Anybody has? It's relatively slow while we're up. That CL trade, I was kind of right about probably not getting into that thing.
Stop filled.
Yeah, we're stopped out. That's fine. So we got our first level here. If it does sell off deeper, I mean, it might just stop here too. That's the other thing. It might just find support here. That's the way it's kind of been acting a little bit today, but I mean, the levels have held up really solidly, as they typically do. I mean, that's why we trade the system we trade. It's why we trade a predictive system that's awesome. So, don't have much more to say than that. We'll see if we can get picked up here on a... We've got 36 minutes in this candle here. We can look at the NDX. We can look at the internals too. Yeah, I don't know why it keeps doing that every friggin' window. Why does it do that? I really, there's certain things about TradingView that annoy me. So, all right. Oh wait, yeah. Someone shared that I can do this. No overlap on positions. There we go. Okay, that's no overlap on positions, but that doesn't really doesn't show my position. That's not my accurate position, is it? Maybe it is. No, that's not my accurate position line. It's just not overlapping it. Yeah. Okay, whatever. Friggin' TradingView, man. I wonder if I could do something like I can do in OBS. Whoa. What happened? Yeah, it just moves the boxes, which is really stupid, isn't it? Okay. What happened on TradingView? There we go. Sorry, something happened on TradingView. Don't know what happened there. NDX is coming back and retested the day open. So if it gives up the day open, then obviously the next level is 970. So that's kind of the obvious path for that if it gets there.
Order filled.
Don't want to get too aggressive because it might just find a bid here. It might just find a bid in this area. So no reason to get too aggressive on actually the pullback here. Or what might be a potential sell-off because it's right at the daily open. So it might hold the daily open and rip. So that's something to keep in mind. It might hold the daily open and rip. Yeah, Like you said, no, it just moves the boxes. It sucks, but it's a little better. Yeah, exactly. So that isn't where my position is. It just moves it so I can actually see it, which is kind of stupid, actually, if you ask me. Like, it's worse than what it normally is. So I'd rather just have it where my position actually is instead of like just so I can see it. I don't need to see it. I mean, I guess it would be helpful to people that are watching, obviously. But for me trading, I'm only in 2 lots here. Man, come on. For me trading, I don't need to see it because I can see it on the other charts that I'm actually trading on. And TradingView does not like you to stream other charts besides TradingView charts. They only want you to stream TradingView charts. Damn it. I'm mad because I'm only in 2 lots. I'm only in 2 lots because I reversed that position too late. And I was buying it instead of selling, instead of going with momentum and bias. So I almost faded this move when I shouldn't have. We do have the daily open on the actual NQ that it's tagging here. So that's another area where it might just stall and stop. You can see that it's not, the sell-off is not fierce as far as like it's finding bids, or I don't know how, maybe, well, it's finding bids. Maybe it's hitting stops. Who knows? It's finding bids every step of the way. So it's not just selling off and just ripping through all the buyers, is what I mean. We'll see if it comes up here and hits the momentum check and test or takes us out. CL's dropping down to the next level. The next level below that, now CL, that would have been a good sell. I should have sold that instead of buying that. That was the same type of trade on NQ. Gold did the thing. Now it's just recovering from the thing that it did, which we talked about. Well, I wasn't streaming, but we talked about in Discord earlier, which is, it was pretty obvious what it was trying to do. It was trying to take out, well, it's still probably trying to take out 2072 spot 9. So that's probably what it's still trying to do. I would say that's what it's still trying to do. The overnight kind of key area. The best trade on gold actually is right around, if it gets here, you got an entry right around 2049, and then you got an entry right around 2041. Those are the best entries. So we'll put one entry here, and then we'll put one entry here. Might not get there. I do wish this NQ would just sell off and stop playing around. But it might just range out the rest of the day. Who knows? Who knows what it's going to do? Any other questions? Anybody else popping up? Maybe my thumbnail scares everybody away. Maybe people don't like black dynamite. It is Thursday. Slow day. It's slowed down. Volatility's really slowed down. It has slowed. Why? How do I turn off these notifications? There's no way I care about that. Oh, there we go. That's what I was waiting for. Finally, jeez. Now I'm still more upset that I'm in only 2 lots. sell-off. I should have been bigger. Should have been sized bigger. Sucks. Hate when I'm not. I didn't get aggressive on that sell-off. Look at that, though. We're selling off pretty hardcore, man. Guess can't complain making $1,200, $1,300, $1,400. Can't really complain about that, right? 2 lots. Whew. It's getting fierce around here. You want to see why? I mean, actually, you want to see the power of the trade system? The power of the trade system. I will share this just in general, just for the heck of it. All right, so we're up about $1,300. Should be more than 2 lots, but it's fine. It is what it is. As Popeye says, he is what he is, or he, whatever Popeye says. I don't know what Popeye says. So if you're new here, one thing you want to do is definitely join Discord down below. That's the best thing you can do if you're new here. If you are new here, not every thumbnail I'm going to do is going to be all extreme. I'm just going to do a couple of them here and there. Then I'll mix it up. I can't come up with something new every single day. Guess I could. It's just too much thinking. Well, CL hit the level we were looking for. I missed that entry.
Order filled.
So we'll do 1 entry here and then 1 entry down below. That's what will be on CL. So obviously there's a VWAP test there. You should be able to see that clearly and concisely. All right, so PnL wise, that's not bad. We're up another $1,000 or so on 2 lots. That's not a bad trade for 2 lots. Catch that sell off there. I didn't think it was going to go that deep, but you know, the key level to hold on the NQ is 13,008, or the next level that is important is 13,032. That's the next level. So we'll see. We'll position for. We got a trailing stop. We'll position for maybe a pullback, but this pullback doesn't seem like it's going to be strong. So I might want to add here on this momentum check. So we might just do that. It's probably a better move to do. Put our trailing stop up here. Add to the momentum check here. It might just fail at this one here. So that's something to keep in mind. It's looking like it's trying to hold. So chart 2 is our control, obviously. Well, not obviously, but chart 2 is our control. C2 control for move. Gold barely moved there. Gold barely did anything. So gold didn't even. Oh, look at that. We almost got picked up for those 2 additional lots. We'll see. That might be a false break. So be mindful of that. This might be a false break. So I might have to get out of this position at a relatively,
order filled.
You know, either a minor break even, or this might be
order filled.
That might be the breakdown, and it might be just a false break, meaning that what's going to happen now is it's going to switch momentum on chart 2, and it's going to rip up. So that might be just the false break. So don't get too aggressive is what I would say here. One more area of entry, and then from there it either sells off or doesn't. So we'll see. Might hold the daily open. Obviously, if it does, then that means that we probably should reverse. But right now, we'll see what's going down. It didn't tag 13.035, so that's what we would expect is a tag at 13.035. So we'll see if that happens. But that's what we would be expecting based on our system. Once again, you're new here, join Discord down below. You see a link down below. It says, join me on Discord. It's one of the best places to... Oh, you know, I didn't update these titles. Oh, man. Damn it. I forgot to do that on... Stupid. You know, trading's hard enough. Adding streaming to it, I just... Even if I just follow a list, I still screw it up. And even there, I messed up the actual PnL thing. Well, it's starting to hold up. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make any sense. There we go. CLs, that's a fade trade on CL, by the way. And then on, well, gold might be trying to break out, so I think we can do a participation trade on gold. We'll see if we can get picked up on a pullback there. And we'll do a participation trade on gold. Put some trailing stops in here. See if it pulls back and picks us up. Momentum shifted on the NQ. And we'll see if it's going to sell off now. Now it's a matter, is it going to sell off now? Trying to hold momentum. Just need a close, really a good close below 06025. Probably will continue to rip down, but it might use that level also to find support. So we'll see. Hey JDS, good to see you here. All right, there we go. Now see, I'm gonna put trailing stops in here because it might just come up and just rip us out. It did sell off. I should have took some profit there, but I didn't. 3, 4, 5. I should have took some profit on that pullback, on that sell off, but we'll give it an opportunity here. All right, this is invalid at this point in time, so I'll cancel all my offers. Give some of these a little bit more room. These trailing stops were up roughly, what, $1,500 in that trade. Gold moved without us so far. We'll see. It's stalling there. And then the next stall point is right around 04450. Just sell off, man. Come on. I don't know why you're like being all... Yeah. I think it wants to at least go to that lower 039 if you use C1. Yeah. 039. What the hell? Man, it's not committing to the sell-off. I just wish it would commit. It would be good if it would just commit. Come on, you can do it. One more sell-off. One more sell off to that 039 level. I mean, it's on multiple areas. Multiple charts are signaling that's where it wants to go, but all of our trail stops are in profit, so
Order filled.
got filled on another CL trade.
Stop filled.
Make sure we watch that. Getting stopped out of NQ.
Stop filled.
I mean, we'll take profit, I guess. I don't want to miss the larger move that might be happening. Fine, we'll take profit. Little bastard. Give us profit, I guess. Yeah, we didn't get aggressive enough with that CL breakout. I said it was breaking out. We don't know for sure yet. So I'm just going to wait for a pullback. We either get picked up on a pullback or we miss the trade. Yeah, it must be frustrating to trade this here on the NQ if you actually don't have a highly effective system like we do. Because, you know, these type of moves where it just kind of like it doesn't commit to the moves and it stalls at every kind of like key level. Like, it's a lot easier to manage a trade when you're in profit than chasing a trade or not knowing where the next trade is. So, you know, one of the things, if you just joined me or just met me, you want to join Discord down below. But if you're wondering what I'm trading, we trade a predictive, always in trade system that pretty much tells us whether or not we should be long or short, as well as we trade with momentum. If the chart is moving, we want to be part of that move. We don't care which direction. Long or short, we don't care. We make money on the way up. We make money on the way down. We really don't care. I don't do any fundamental analysis. I mean, I do, but it doesn't play into any trading that you see here. I do fundamental analysis for other trades that I do, like equity trades and other stuff, just to kind of be aware of the market. But it plays zero role in the thinking and the trades that we execute here, that you see me execute. You can learn more about that by visiting the website below, too. Any questions? It's pretty lonely around these parts. We are up roughly, I don't know what we're up on this trade. I could see the position, but TradingView doesn't want me to see the position. TradingView wants to obscure it in their infinite wisdom. All right, we need to put trailing stops in the CL trade and just kind of put some trailing stops, get rid of this position and put some trailing stops. So that CL trade's either going to move up and then we'll follow it up, or it's going to sell off here and we'll get taken out for a loss. Pretty simple. Any questions or thoughts? Any deep thoughts anybody has? We can go through some deep thoughts. Let's check out the Twitter. Coinbase. May the 4th be with you. Celebrate Star Wars Day on Disney Plus. There's a Star Wars Day? That's pretty stupid. I don't know. Disney is, in my opinion, ruined Star Wars. So I don't pay attention to any Star Wars stuff anymore. Not that I was a super huge fan to begin with, but I mean, I guess I liked it. I enjoyed it. Never deep thoughts, only up or down. Exactly. It's a good perspective to have. Is that real? So is this real? Does anybody think this real? I'll put this in off topic in Discord. I don't know where this is. I have no idea if it's real because it's not referenced. Oh yeah, it is. Can I share a tweet here on TradingView? Oh, I can. Okay. They allow me to share tweets. That's what I was looking at. It's basically UV, IR light looks like on a person based on emotions. I don't know how they figured out if someone was depressed. Or fear. I mean, I guess fear would be easy. You know. I don't know how they got to neutral.
Stop field. Stop field.
We got stopped out of the NQ. It's not allowing us to make the amount of profit we want to make. The CL's starting to move, so we're up on that. Just a little. That trade's starting to move in our favor. It is a fade trade once again. So we're not too heavy on that. Oh, look at that. The NQ took us out, sold back off. Took us out, sold back off. Now we're only in 2 lots on that thing. I bet it's going to rip now. I guess I could add. I just don't like the way it's stalling. It's not worth the risk. It's not worth the risk. It's stalling here. It might stall at the next level right around 0.44. So it's just not worth the risk. Yeah. It's finding bids every pullback. It's still pulling back, but it's finding bids every pullback. So one of these pullbacks is going to decide to just rip in the other direction from the way I see it right now. So far today we're up about, we're only adding a little bit to our PnL, just about $1,000. So nothing major. I haven't found anything I want to trade at size yet. That size is maybe a little bit lower. That size would probably be somewhere below 0.007 possibly. CL trade is, and then we missed the gold. Well, the gold trade might be pulling back and picking us up. So we'll see. Maybe we'll get picked up on that gold trade. Maybe then it will break out. We're going to kind of watch that pattern though. This is looking like a reverse, or could be a flag pattern. Could be a reverse flag pattern. Who knows? Okay. Thanks. The stock bot said that Apple ER is after close. Might add some volatility to the market as we enter power hour. Yeah, I'm just not going to probably stream all the way up to that. I got things I got to do. There's things we got to do. There's things we're working on. So I figured I would stream just once today. There's not much. Oh, there we go. That's the sell-off we're looking for. That's the sell-off we're looking for. Now, it makes me wish I was larger, but once again, I guess I should have based on the chart 2 layout. Chart 2's been very clear. Didn't change. Nothing changed in the chart 2 layout. GC didn't pick us up on that pullback, so we missed the trade. The next level is 0.45, spot 25, and then from there we're going to watch 0.34. So even though it is selling off and it's following momentum and bias of chart 2, at the end of the day, it's stopping at every key level. It's not just ripping through every key level. So that leads me to believe that there's going to be some bid support here at some point in time. And maybe what the stock bot said is true, is basically based on the market is waiting for this AAPL announcement aftermarket. So no one's positioning too hardcore on either side. Waiting for that CL trade to continue to maybe move in our favor. There it is. It's starting to move. It's starting to kind of jump a little bit. Up about $60 on 2 lots. It's really just kind of we're just chilling. An algorithm has detected 8 mysterious signals that possibly came from aliens. Oh, yeah? Isn't it weird? You were a conspiracy theorist if you believed in aliens like maybe 6, 7, 8, maybe 10 years ago. But now the government and the news media is all treating aliens like it's serious. Very strange. I don't know. There's something to that. Just very interesting that 10 years ago you were a crackpot if you said anything about aliens, but suddenly the Pentagon's talking about it, U.S. government, the news media makes it serious. I don't know. Maybe they know something we don't know. I don't know. Who knows? Just odd when you notice a trend. Yeah, it would have been like I should have doubled up on that sell-off there. CL's deciding right now if it wants to actually recapture the long momentum. Look at that. Hit that level perfectly. Hit that level. That 04. I told you. No, 04475. I said that's the next level. Well, it's hitting it. Now, from there, the next level is 03475. So that's where it's going. Up about $1,000 in this trade. Chocolate, giddy up. Yeah, see that? Look at that level. It's holding. It is holding. So those are wondering, I'll share just an update here. Just the trade system that we trade, in case you were wondering. Yeah, look at that. Held that level pretty strongly. Pretty bigly. I mean, it's still following momentum and bias, so nothing there has changed, right? But if you're super scalping, like if you were super scalping, you'd be able to play these levels really nicely. They're just being reliable today. Any tips on letting winners run? JDS asks. Yeah. Trade in thirds and then basically just adjust your trailing stops as the chart, signifies. I mean, you're seeing here, I'm being very patient with this. I mean, we were up about $1,000. Now we're down to about 600. So really the only way to do it is you should take profit along the way, at least one take profit point. But so for instance, if I was in a larger position there, I would have took profit at that stall area, that chart 2 level where we said 0.44 whatever. I would have took profit there. If I was in, let's say 6 lots, for instance, I would have took at least 1 or 2 off just to book profit at maximize profit, because it might hold up like it is right now. And then it's just a matter of keeping your trailing stops above the momentum and bias indicators on chart 2. That's the best way if you want to stick with a potential runner, because if it's going to shift over, it's going to shift over in chart 2 first. So if it's if it's going to turn around here at this point in time, and looks like it is on the 5 minute at least, if it's going to use that zone as a support zone, well, it's going to shift over first on, and we're seeing that right now. We're seeing an early shift over of momentum on chart 2. And now it needs to take out the RDA. And you'll notice where my stops are. Well, you might not notice, but where my stops are just above the RDA. So I'm giving it, actually one of them is just below it. So I'm giving this trade plenty of opportunity to work out in the bias and momentum that we trade. So that's kind of how to, there's no other way to do it. Because if it does recapture the RDA and it's shifting momentum on chart 2, then, well, we probably want to reverse, maybe. But sometimes you've got to give the market an opportunity to do what it's doing here, which is basically, hey, you know, go out, stall out, come back, do a momentum and bias check, and then fail again at the RDA. So right now we're going to get that answer literally right now. If you're watching the chart, right now we're at the RDA. We're either going to get knocked out here or it's going to fail at the RDA. So there's no real other way to do it, because you want a combination of maximizing your profits but also sticking with winners, because that's how your account kind of like, you know, when you're taking profit in thirds, it's a stair step type of profit. And then as you have winners that are runners, that's where then kind of your PnL equity starts kind of doing a hockey stick. Especially if every trade you're consistently trading, basically you're taking profit at take profit 1, take profit 2, and then you're leaving a third of that position in for a runner. But so for instance, I don't know what my average is today, but if like 70% of the trades you do work out in that scenario, well, then 70% of the trades you have a small runner, and then sometimes you have a big runner. So a medium runner, right? So if this sells off at the RDA, which it's trying to do right now, that's another opportunity where I could have added to, but I'm not sure if this whole structure is going to hold up yet. That's why I'm not adding it to the sale. So, but if this sells off now, well, and it goes down to like the 0.35 level, which we're looking for, 0.34, well, then this trade I would have caught kind of what I would consider a larger runner. But did I have to sit? I mean, the only reason why I'm like, see, if you're normal trading, you don't have to sit here and watch it. I mean, like, so for instance, like my trailing stops are in and I'm doing other things right now, even as I'm streaming, except I'm watching it more because I'm streaming. But ordinarily my trailing stops are set there. I don't need to do anything. You could do fixed stops if you wanted to, and then look at it a little bit more. But I just like trailing stops. It doesn't maximize your profit. I'll tell you that. Trailing stops does not maximize your profit, because what happens is that oftentimes it will just sell off here, and then you might get knocked out of one or two trades before you want to be. But as far as saving your time and your ability to have to watch the chart, I shared this yesterday. You know, if you're trading my system, you know, number one within what do you mean you can't figure out how to set trailing stops and trade ovate? Just go to the chart settings at the top, view settings, and then do how do I do this? Go to view settings and then do stop type, and then just change the stop type to trailing stop. It's in the chart settings. It's the second icon from the H.
Stop field.
See? Stupid ass NQ, man. It's still gonna sell off, I think. I think it's still gonna sell off, but like I said,
Order filled.
I think
Stop
what's happening
field.
is the buyers, or what's happening is obviously the market's waiting for. Yeah, damn it. I hate when I don't catch trade and it goes in my direction. Yeah, I mean, there's probably, yeah. You know what I would suggest for anybody? Like, I'm not trading Tradeovates, like, you know, I don't get paid by Tradeovate. So I don't, if they paid me, I'd teach people how to use Tradeovate. But I mean, what I would suggest anybody trading is that when you get into a Oh, you don't really like the software, Tradeovate? Oh, it's probably the better trading platforms out there. I will tell you that much. I've used. It's better. I mean, it's easier to use than Sierra Chart. I'll tell you that much. You wanna feel like your teeth are getting pulled out? Go through the process of learning Sierra Chart. It's this Tradeovate. I've used a lot of platforms. I'm telling you, it's one of the better ones. As far as easy use, being able to just fire it up and just easily enter entries and positions. Yeah. Like anything else, like you got, like, for instance, if I fired up Photoshop, I would say, well, this program, I really don't like it because I can't figure out how to just open up a photo and just, do this one thing, right? Well, I'm not saying Tradeovate's a level of Photoshop. In no way is it, but it's kind of the same concept where you got to invest a little bit of time in your tools. And the best way to do that is just go in and start clicking buttons. Like, sometimes that could be dangerous, but look at every menu. Look at every button and see what it does. And then also, some platforms are really good at tutorials. Tradeovate is quasi good, but not that great. But like I said, if you really want, if you want to feel the pain, fire up Sierra Chart and then spend about an hour with it and tell me that you understand how to use the program. Just, spend an hour with, and if you spend an hour with Tradeovate, you'll know 60-70% of the platform. If you spend an hour with Sierra Chart, you're going to wonder why anybody uses that tool. Yeah, there's no reason to sell this or buy this at all. We did get picked up on the GC trade, so we're in one lot on the GC trade. We'll see if that other lot gets picked up. We're going to the pivot 2 of the market, 5 minutes away. And if it's working out the way it is, it looks like what it's going to do is it's going to come up, do a momentum check, and sell off. That's what we're expecting. So we'll just wait and be patient, kind of get our entry up there if it hits up there. But that last 60 did tag a key level. So it might just be momentum long the rest of the day. So that's something to keep in mind. Yeah, NQ. That's what I mean. So sorry I wasn't clear. Yeah, NQ. I mean, it's doing a momentum check right here. And it very well might just switch over momentum or try to switch over momentum, recapture bias, and just rip up the rest of the day. If we look at the opening range, for instance, that last sell-off held this 50% opening range. Now we're at a VWAP test, RDA test. We're kind of at a key. We're at a key level right now on the NQ. We're at a really key level as far as is it gonna continue up or is it gonna sell off? So
order filled.
We got picked up on our first sell up there. We'll see if we get picked up on our second sell.
Order filled.
GC selling off. We got our trailing stops in there. A little too far away. I think I'll move them up. Actually, that's kind of where we want them. I want this one closer, though. Yep, buyers still stepping up, so I don't anticipate we're going to see a sell-off here anytime soon. We need to get further into the pivot 2 of the afternoon. We're not quite there yet. We got about 2 minutes. Well, that CL trade's deciding if it's going to move. We're giving it plenty of room and plenty of time. So far, we're up about $120 on that. Let's see if it does continue to move. Yep. As we're seeing, the buy side is starting to maybe try to show its force. So the market doesn't really want to sell off anymore. So we'll be mindful of that here as we pick up these positions, as these positions get picked up on what we would expect is a failure, but it might not actually happen because chart 2 did change over in momentum. So if the market gives us a chance to get out, we might take it unless it clearly does a sell off. So we'll see. There we go. That's what we want to see. Now, does that have a follow through? Does that sell off have follow through? Doesn't look like it. Looks like it. It's going to hold up because right now it's doing a momentum check. Because keep in mind, chart 2 momentum has shifted and the bias has shifted. Now the bias is in the middle of momentum, so that's something to keep in mind. But that sell off there was the initial kind of push. Obviously the buy side stepped up. Now it's just a matter is the, at this point in time, it's all about 037. It's 74. 074 on the NQ. If that holds, then it's probably going to rip up or continue to rip up. If it breaks, then most likely what we're going to see is a sell-off continue. So really we just need to be patient for that level to be tested at 074. If it does get tested, that's really what we need to wait for. So here's the first level. It might hold at that 077. It's really that level between 077 and 074, which is key. That breaks, close below that, then we're probably going to see a sell-off. Otherwise, we're just going to have this painful little kind of like buy side, hesitation activity. So I'd like to see it tag that before I make that decision to get out of this trade. Looks like it's going to rip up again, possibly. We'll see. Yep. That CL trade started working in our favor. We're down a little bit more in the GC trade than we want to be. So we need to decide whether or not we want to add to one lot on that GC trade and maybe not have our stops be so close. So let's see. I think that's what we do. I think there's one more position on the GC trade and then we'll put our stops down here. We'll give it plenty of room to possibly move. All right, CL trades all in profit. We're in 4 lots on the NQ. I think what I do just to protect this, I mean, at the end of the day, I don't want to take a loss on it where it's at. I'll give it a little bit of room, but I'm not going to give it much room. We're going to put trailing stops in the NQ trade. Either get taken out or it's going to sell off. I don't really want to take a loss on it. I don't have any motivation to take a loss on the trade at this point in time or trade myself out of it. There we are. We're at 074. Like I said, almost. This is the key level. It's either going to hold up. Look, if you're wondering what I'm trading, I'm trading the Rexdog trade system. It's $9.97 to get started. You get all indicators. It's a one-time fee, lifetime. I have a deeper why I actually teach trading, why I do what I do. It has really not much to be to being focused on being the #1 trainer in the world. If that's the case, I highly undercharge for the amount of time, and I get tremendous negative ROI on the amount of time and effort that I put into the group, the training, and everything I do around here. But I have a deeper why. So let's show I'm passing about trading and I'm a trader.
Stop filled.
Yeah, so we got knocked out of one stop.
Stop filled.
What did we get knocked out of? Was that the GC trade? No, it wasn't the GC trade. Oh, yeah, it was the NQ. So we're only in 2 lots left. Once again, like I said, 074 is the key level. It's holding so far. If it breaks, it's probably going to continue to sell off. These are invalid, these sells. I mean, they're not invalid now, but we don't want to get picked up there. We're up about 260 on that CL trade. I'm just going to let those trailing stops where they're going to get taken out on trailing stops are just going to move. So at this point in time, I'm fine with just making $100 or making whatever comes out of that trade. Whatever comes out of that trade, I'm fine. My number one thing I'm working on is the same thing I've been working on for the last 2 or 3 months. Not fading the market, not trading against the system. Because as you can see, when I trade with the system, good things happen. If you haven't joined Discord, you want to join Discord down below. There's a link. It says join Discord. On TradingView, you'll see it right below the video on YouTube and other platforms. Oh, look at that. It did finally sell off. Damn it. Shoot. Did not. And I am only in 2 lots again.
Stop filled.
I think 2 lots is like my secret, or not my secret, but obviously my nemesis for today, 2 lots. The market's only going to allow me to have 2 lots.
Stop filled.
As the market moves in my favor. Got stopped out of that CL trade. Made some decent, I don't know, a couple $100 on that. It's not bad. Can't complain about that. The gold trade's moving in our favor. We're up about $40 on that. Should have been a little bit heavier, obviously, in the NQ trade based on this sell-off, but we'll stick with it. Do you have an approximate split, the daily PnL, NQ with C over? Yeah, I look at that. It depends on day. I don't really have an approximate. So John asked me, do you have an approximate split of the daily PnL? NQ is usually a lot more because it's what I like to trade. You know, someone mentioned this in Discord earlier today too. They finally traded the, oh yeah, thank you. Forgot to tell me, I always forget to get in the active trading channel. Where did they put in the futures? Someone said today, I'm trading the MNQ today for the first time. So far, I'm finding it easier trade than the ES. NQ gives more opportunities to get out of a bad trade if calling improperly and scaling. I think he meant scaling. Yeah, scaling improperly. And the levels for limit order entries are more precise as compared to the ES. Yeah, exactly. So if you look at my breakdown on my PnL, like by instrument, it typically is like 70%, 60% NQ, and then the other 3 make up a mix, or the other 3 make up a mix. And then it really comes down to, sometimes I'm more focused on just scalping the NQ and just deploying my capital just there. So, and I got to have focus because I'm like in larger positions. Like today, I'll probably walk away with about 15 grand, probably today. But most of my focus has been on the NQ, but there'll be for instance, I only trade how I like to trade is I only trade really the other 3 things at the high probability spots. I don't highly focus on them. I don't, but I just as much as I love the NQ, I could love the CL, meaning that I could just trade the CL. I could just trade gold. I could just trade, E-mini Dow. It's just that, like I shared just a second ago, I just love the way the NQ moves. I just think it moves so smooth compared to the other ones. CL, the challenge with CL, for instance, is that CL, what it does is it will really move and then it'll stop and stall for a while. NQ very rarely just stalls, and when it does stall, it stalls in a range. So when it stalls in a range on the NQ, you could actually super scalp the NQ sometimes in a range. It's hard to you can't super scalp the CL, what I call super scalp. Where basically, you're playing a tight range. You can do that with the NQ. You can't, it's harder to do with the CL, and it's harder to do with GC. But the NQ, given the nature of the underlying, it just moves so much more fierce and so much more kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? It just moves much better. All right, we're at another area, and then we're going to eventually 034. We're up about $1,600. Would have been much happier to be in bigger lots, but you know. By the way, I would ask everybody that was watching, okay, did I not announce in Discord and TradingView, did I not say 5 minutes away from P2 afternoon? Okay, what's P2 afternoon? Pivot. If you go back and look at the time that I shared that 13 minutes ago and look at the chart, was there not a pivot kind of around that 3 minute window is what I would ask. You know, I say things even in my training, and I have a philosophy, trust but verify, which really isn't my philosophy. I first heard it from Reagan, President Reagan. So, on the communists, trust but verify. Well, I have the same philosophy on with things that I share with you. You know, well, trust that I say, hey, there's P2 here, the pivot 2, but verify it. Like if I say, hey, we're 5 minutes away from pivot 2, and you understand what I mean by pivot 2, which is basically there's usually a pivot around that time window. There's a really easy way for you to verify whether or not I know what the hell I'm talking about. You can literally go back in the chart and the chat and say, okay, the dude said it here. Let me go back in the chart and see if that actually aligns with what the dude said. Like, it's pretty, like, easy to verify, like, the things that I say. And then if you verify it, then maybe that's something that you can say, hey, you know what? That's a pretty good idea. I should adopt that in my trade system. Like, I just shared kind of the trade system that I've developed that I think is the best, one of the best trade systems and speculation systems ever developed in the history of mankind. Maybe in Atlantis, possibly if Atlantis was real, there might have been kind of like a trade system that closely rivaled this, based on my reading here of Atlantis. But you know, I don't think the Incas had a highly effective system. You know, the Syrians possibly. I'll give the Syrians. Do you do? Do you do? Hey Rex, how do you do? Good. How about you? I would think maybe Hannibal, possibly Hannibal. I'd give Hannibal the ability that he probably could have created a similar type of highly effective trade system. The Carthaginian. So, I mean, the Carthaginians really were, you know, before they were destroyed by Rome, they were really a sophisticated, there's so many sophisticated societies. But the Carthaginians, they really were a pretty sophisticated society. You. Oh, bam. Oops, my bad. Looks like we're going to be taken out of this trade. It didn't even reach that level. That's odd. We're long in the CL trade. Our stops are below our so we could still lose a couple $100 on that. It's fine. I'll probably jump off here unless there's questions. Anybody have questions? Just holding onto 9 different positions. Well, okay. 5 crypto and 4 futures. Learning to swing trade like you said yesterday since I worked during the day. Yeah, no, that's a good way to do it. I mean, you know, if you work, you've got to design your trade system has to I call it, and one of these days I'll share my thoughts on it, but I call it immovable mountains. Like, you have things in your life that can't move at that, or at least that given time. You need a job to survive, healthcare, whatever, support your family, support yourself, whatever it may be. But maybe you have the desire to make trading I mean, trading is one of the best opportunities that exist on the planet because it's just you against the market. You don't need to rely on anybody else. So maybe you have this thought or this dream. Got any advice? I need a strategy that's consistent. Well, I'll share my self-serving advice first. The answer is in the trade system I created. So that's my first advice. And then I'll share advice outside of me saying, hey, join and become an alpha, right? So that would be how most douches that I see stream would answer that. Join my training, the answer's in my training, and the answer's in my system. Most douches that I see stream, that's how they'd answer it. Can I use the word douche? I don't know if I can use the word douche. I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to use it anyways. So that's the answer. $9.97, you get access to everything. We show up every single day, me and my nephew, as well as other alphas. We show up every single day. So it's not just some group where, I mean, you can see that in Discord. You just spend a week in Discord and you'll see that we operate, I think, differently than many other groups out there. Next is, let's talk about I just did the shameless plug. I've already created the answer for you. I mean, really, if I want to be upfront, the answer to your question, I've already created it. I've spent years since 2016 refining the system that you see me trade here. And I still look at other systems. I still look at other trade setups. I'm still refining it. So, to me, that's the single best answer. If I met someone, my family members, they ask me how to trade, or people I know in real life, I say, look, I got the answer. Like, you don't need to go any further. I have the answer. I've discovered it. Like, stop reading all the books you're doing. Stop everything. Literally, if you spend 1 hour with me, I'll show you within 1 hour undeniable proof that what I've discovered works. So now let's just talk about outside of me, and you have no interest in becoming an alpha.
Stop field.
And trading the best trade system on the planet. A strategy to stay consistent really comes down to you have to design it around when you can actually physically manage the trade. So if you have a job, it depends on your job, and you're doing swing trading, you have to figure out, and it can't be something that, it has to be absolute, meaning that you can't have positions open that you have to manage, and one day you're able to make that time and another day you're not. So whatever process that you develop, it has to be something that, okay, every day, no matter what, I can check in the market at 10:30 every day, no matter what. And it has to be, the other thing is that it just can't be a phone. Like, yeah, I know some people want to trade on the phone and that kind of works. You better have a backup. So if your primary trading, kind of remotely is a phone, you better spend some effort and time in figuring out a backup. The only way to do that is either you're allowed to at your work because they don't monitor. And even then, I wouldn't even do it at work because they would highly, so you don't want to do it on the works network. So you're going to want to invest into a laptop probably with then a remote connection, not through your phone. Like I said, if you're taking this seriously and you're trading real capital, at first starting, you can kind of ad hoc do it. But if you're taking it seriously and you're trading real capital because you want to transition out of your job, you got to trade real capital. So you've got to have redundancy. I mean, these are the things that a normal trader wouldn't even friggin' talk about, right? Or someone just trading their strategy or trying to sell you their training because they have no idea how to do this crap. They just want you to buy their training and go away. I'm telling you the actual technical aspects of how you have to do this.
Stop field.
All right, we see some volatility picked up in the market. So that's the first thing. You need to design your trading ability or your ability to manage your trades around what your schedule allows. And then you have to make a really distinct decision, okay? And it comes down to stop losses. You need to decide if you're going to do a trade and forget strategy, a trade and manage strategy, a no stop loss strategy. To me, the best way to swing trade Yeah, so you're only working part-time, so you have even more opportunity to trade. The best way to swing trade is protective stop losses. Stop losses that 95% of the time in the market conditions will never get hit. But you basically give a wide stop there. And your focus is you manage the trade ongoing. In the Forex market, I use no stop losses at all. In some equity trades, I use no stop losses at all because I've planned for both scenarios. What I'm saying, I mean, the worst case scenario in equity could go to zero. So okay, fine. I'm not trading ever enough in one equity where it's going to destroy me, but I'm also not scaling into a trade where if the next key area that our system says you should be buying and I get picked up there, well, my basis is better. It's very rare in our system. It's extremely rare. It's so rare that I don't even think it's kind of like, I don't know. I was going to say something inappropriate. It's kind of like, I can't say that. It's rare. Okay. I was going to say something that's going to make me laugh, but I don't know if that's appropriate to say. If there's 3 reaction areas in our system on a higher time frame that do not have a reaction, it is very, very, very rare. I don't know what you mean by hedging, Lance, for Forex. I'm just trading. So if you mean by hedging, I mean, no, I just identify the 4 high probability reaction zones that our system says, and then I just plan to enter around there. And then pretty much 90% of the time, the market gives me an opportunity to get out of that trade at a profit. So that's what I do. And it hasn't failed me yet. It's going to fail me one of these days when the whole world de-dollarizes. But other than that, it hasn't failed me yet. And even then, if that one trade fails, then 2 or 3 other the trades. I do a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know if I want to be long here. I think we might want to do long for a participation trade based on what it's doing on the NQ. But yeah, I didn't trade this morning. Yeah, so I really need to learn stop loss and how to implement. There's only 3 types of stop losses. There's no stop loss. There's protective stop loss, and then there's fixed stop loss. A trailing stop is a fixed stop loss. There's only 3 types of stop losses. Just like there's only 2 types of trades. There's a momentum or a fade. There's only 2 types of trades. There's only 3 types of stop losses. There's only 2 ways to enter a trade. You either scale in or you do a single position. Like, I've broken trading down to such a precise level where basically I've analyzed every aspect of the trade system that we trade and trading. And I've said, what is the truth here? Like, what is the absolute truth? And I believe the absolute truth is there are only 3 types of stop losses. 3 types of stop losses. Really, what does take profit mean? Does it still hold your positions? Well, no, I mean, take profit is you never enter a trade. What I teach in our system is that at a minimum, you never enter a trade unless you have a take profit 1. And then most trades, you should be able to identify
Order filled.
Take profit 1 and take profit 2. And then we trade in thirds. So then you scale or you move up your stop loss on that third position so that you can participate in a runner. I've analyzed all type of take profit strategies, and the taking profit in thirds statistically to me makes the most sense. Plus, it deals with the psychology that most people have with taking profits, which is fear. So, the things that are within the Rexdog trade system that you see me trade is the work of analyzing multiple, I don't know about 100, but multiple trade systems, spending 60, 70 grand on training, seeing, as well as seeing other traders, being in the markets and being at least as a YouTuber and out there since 2018. And so the things that I share, the philosophies and what's in the system, isn't just crap that I just read in some kind of trading book or came across from some dude on YouTube that all he does is dumbass pattern videos with candles and then makes it feel like you walk away and you have some kind of knowledge, but never shows that he actually trades. Never streams, never does any of that. I didn't stream for a while too. So but what I realized is like, you know what? Like if the ultimate flex to me in trading is streaming. That's the ultimate flex. Like if you can stream, if you can trade real time and stream and be consistent day after day, that's the ultimate flex to me in trading. Sure, I see people on Twitter, they share their PnLs, they share their accounts, they even log into their little account back office or whatever and show stuff. Okay. That's cool. But to me, the ultimate flex is being able to show up consistently, daily, stream your trades, and show, hey, my trade system works. That to me is the ultimate flex. So when I thought about, okay, well, how do I ultimately show the power of the Rexdog system? That's when I said, you know what? The best way to do it is to make it undeniable, is that if someone discovers me today and they watch a week or two of the streams, they either are boneheaded or, and I don't mean this if you have, this is you, so I'm not calling you maybe I am calling you boneheaded, or you think I'm doing some kind of magic or something behind the scenes, right? I don't know what I could possibly be doing, but like if you watch me for 2 weeks straight and I'm consistent as I am, you're either going to come away with two things. That person, the system that they trade, you might attribute it to me and say, that person's a really good trader. I could never do what he does, even if I had a system. I get that. The other thing you could say is that person's just a really good trader, and doesn't matter what system he trades, he's going to be a really good trader. But I don't know how you could deny that, hey, that person doesn't know how to trade. Like, I don't know how you could show up for 2 weeks straight on the activity level that we have and deny that there's not something special here. Maybe, you can. And I'm not being arrogant. I'm just saying, like, I just don't know how you could do it. So, like, and I learned that from someone I listened to for the radio for a very long time. I listened to someone on the radio for a very long time. And many of the strategies that I adopt and things I adopt are someone that I listened to the radio for a very long time. Very successful person on the radio. And I analyzed how that person operated and how that person did their radio show and what they did. And they've been one of the most successful people in radio ever. And to me, when I came back, after I ghosted, I said, I need to have a deeper why, which I do. And otherwise, I'm not going to show up every day and be passionate about it. I'm only in one lot here because it's the end of the market. The other thing I said is, okay, the true star here is the Rexdog trade system. It's not me. The true star is this awesome system I've created. So, like, how do I showcase that every single day? So you say, it's only been a year from using TradingView. I get stuck on a few K above the paper trading reset at 100K. Yeah, I've never really used the paper trading on TradingView. And you said, today's my second day, but I want to try to be more consistent. Yeah, consistency is a habit. Consistency isn't something that just magically happens. Consistency, because how do you measure consistency? With time. So the only way that you can measure consistency is through time. And the only way that you build something through time is by a habit. If you don't brush your teeth every day, eventually your teeth are going to fall out, right? Probably. I don't know. But, so you have to have the habit of brushing your teeth every day. So, it's kind of like, it's like anything else. Trading, everything with trading is a habit. Being consistent is a habit. Not fading the market every single day. Like, I'm pretty proud of my PnL the last couple of days because while I've faded a couple times, I got into super fade mode. Like, I've really been trading the system pretty well. And yeah, my PnL isn't like 25, 30, 40, 50 grand. You know, I'm happy with the 14, 20 grand that I'm making just because it feels so much better to not fight the system that I developed and not have my negative trading habit consistently make it so I have to trade out of trades. But I realized why I did that. So your heart will erupt if you don't brush your teeth. Yeah, I mean that's the other thing. If you do, you know, your health is really tied to your you know, your mouth and other aspects of your body. Man, oh man, oh man, I'm only in one lot of this participation trade. Yeah. How long were you a trader before you actually started trading real money, and how much did you start with? By the way, are you still learning? I'm still learning, so I probably won't risk anything yet. I started in 2016. It took me 2 years to become profitable. Well, a little less than 2 years. Like 2017, middle of 2017, I became profitable. I got lucky for a couple trades. You know, I blew up a couple counts. I don't know what I started with here on this run. Probably was around 10 grand maybe. 10 grand, 10, 15, 20 grand. Somewhere around there. Yeah. And then I just started getting aggressive. You know, once you get to 25 grand and you got a system, you can take it to the next level. So, I mean, if you have a system and you got 25 grand in a futures account, you know, you can consistently maybe have $3,000 to $4,000 days. And then when you got 30 grand, then you know, it's just if you get adept at trading more size as you kind of go up in the scale, like I'm barely utilizing any of my capital on these trades because like I've shared before, like I'm fine with being patient with me dealing with my last challenge that I have because, well, for those that have been watching for maybe a couple months, you've seen the 2 days that I had red. I had 2 red days that were kind of painful. And that was just really obvious to me that, okay, I need to change. I need to make a change in my trading. So then you have another question here. So for what it's worth, I am new to this and had been stumbling, so I decided to stop trying to recreate the wheel. I came across Rexdog's stream a few months back. I've watched a lot and continue to watch. He is solid. Oh, I'm solid. Sweet. And the system is solid. So I became a member. Between the stream and the training, you will grow. Who showed this? Who shared this? Are you finding this from somewhere else? Between the stream and the, while I am still paper trading, my increased exponentially. Yeah, where are you finding that, Jude Elm? 2 Jack? Is that someone on TradingView or something? I haven't seen that. You'll never find so I'll just share this with everybody. You'll never find testimonials on our site. I'll never have, I mean, I have asked an alpha member to share with other alpha members their experience, and they shared it with just alpha members. I didn't share that outside of the general public. Oh, that's you. Oh, Jules. Oh, okay. Thanks, Jules. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I thought you were the same person as Jack Legs. So I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm trying to trade and read comments. No, thank you for that. I appreciate that. I mean, that does mean a lot. But the reason why you'll never see testimonials on our site, because I don't want you to buy based on false sales techniques. I don't want any member to come into the Rexdog system based on false sales techniques. So we don't have the typical sales techniques on the website that you see, which is as seen on MSNBC, Bloomberg, whatever. I could spend $1,000 and get on all those sites. Also, you'll never see testimonials because a testimonial is designed to make you feel warm and fuzzy. And I don't want you to feel warm and fuzzy. I want you to join my trade system with speculation. I want you to be skeptical, not speculation. I want you to be with skepticism. I want you to join with skepticism. I don't want people that are all warm and fuzzy. I mean, I want you to feel good about joining. Don't get me wrong, but like you need to be skeptical because you need to like look at the system, and then you need to then have the system prove to you, even if you did become an alpha, you believe there's something here. Once you start learning and taking all the knowledge from me, you still need to be skeptical because what you need to do is you need to prove it to yourself as well. Otherwise, you're never going to trade it effectively. So I intentionally don't have anything out there that is going to break your skepticism. I want people that are through the door still kind of skeptical a little bit. Of course, if you see me every single day and you're saying, hey, there's probably something to this dude trading here. He probably figured something out. Maybe I could adopt his system and figure the same things out. That makes sense. But testimonials are just designed. Well, testimonials are bogus in trading because
Order filled.
there we go. We see some volatility. We did get picked up on one lot there. The reason why I say that is because a testimonial has 0.000 impact on whether or not you personally, with your own psychological issues, your own mindset issues, your own challenges, are going to have any success at adopting that system. So to me, every trading site that has a testimonial that sells training, those are incompatible testimonials to whether or not it has any factor in whether or not you're going to be successful. Just because someone else was successful with it, in trading, it doesn't work like other testimonials. Like if I take, so for instance, I'm taking a new kind of like mix of things, right? It's making me feel better. Well, I can read the reviews of that and get a good feel where if there's a good majority of people that take that and they get similar results, that is much more reliable than, 100 or 10 testimonials on a trading site. It's just much more reliable. Why have you decided to be so transparent and share your PnL and stream online? It goes back to so for those that don't have the history here, I don't know how long ago I did this, but I ran the trading group. I had the training.
Order filled.
And then one day I just disappeared. And it was kind of due to the cancer I have, kind of due to life, kind of due that I wasn't getting satisfaction from teaching, trading. I was successful trading, and I was just a little frustrated that also I just was frustrated in general. There's a lot of things going on in life. So I just literally one day never showed up. And I didn't show up for I don't know how long it was. It's a testament to some of the members that actually they're still here through all that. And then one day I woke up and I said, I'm still trading. And I think I saw a comment that someone said that he's on TradingView, so he's still alive. So people didn't even know if I was still alive. And then I don't know. I took another drive for Rex. These seem to happen from time to time. I took another drive for Rex and I just really looked inside myself and I said, what the
Order
hell
filled.
am I, without getting too deep, I basically just asked the universe is maybe the way I would phrase it. What the hell, I have this tremendous amount of energy and this tremendous amount of executing things. But what the hell, why? What's the purpose of this? I'm getting nothing from this. I have no larger purpose. And then kind of within sitting there with Rex in that park we were at, the purpose was revealed to me. So, and I've shared this before. This is probably more transparent and deep than most people want, but I believe in freedom. And I used to be so watching politics and so into watching politics. But then I decided one time, you know what? I'm not going to do anything about it. Meaning I'm not going to get involved politically. I'm not going to try to politically change this stuff. I have future generations that are going to follow me. I should, but I have no interest in getting involved. At one point in time, I was going to be like a quasi-campaign strategist for a major political figure in the area that I live in, on the state level. But I got around those people and I hated them. They sucked. Like they were all snakes. And I was like, you know what? I could do this, but I got to like always carry around Machiavelli, and I've got to carry around the Robert Greene's book as well as 50 Cent's book. I got to carry around these books because I got to constantly be referencing them to see how I outsmart all these people and not get stabbed in the back. So anyways, long story short is what my why is. I told you, I've shared this before. I came back. I've never shared this until recently, is that my why is to create 4 to 8 individuals that create an immense amount of wealth so that they can protect freedom as society moves on. That's how I affect future history. So since I had that why, like I'm just telling you the way it is. You can think I'm crazy or not. I don't really give a shit. I'm just telling you
Order filled.
my why. I get up every day and I check in with that why, and it still resonates with why I do it. And then it was just a simple catalyst. It was a simple plan. Okay, if that's the plan, if that's the end state. See, trading for me personally in my life has drastically helped me at multiple levels becoming a trader, because what it's allowed me to do is analyze my life and my decisions and make decisions relatively quickly and then act. Like if I didn't have trading in my life and I wouldn't have become a successful trader, a lot of decisions I've made in my life, I would have stalled and not just acted. So when I made that decision, I said, okay, well, how do I come back? I said, well, I should probably do a video and explain what happened. And then I'm just going to start acting. I'm not going to talk about this shit. I'm not going to talk about the things I'm doing. I'm just going to act. I'm just going to do. Like, there's no better kind of like way to convince anybody than just to do. So I'm just going to do. And I said, well, okay, well, I need to start sharing my PnL. So I kind of eased into sharing my PnL. And then when I started sharing my PnL, I'm like, well, okay, that's great. But like, what's undeniable? Undeniable is someone seeing me make this PnL in real time. Like, that's undeniable. So, okay, well, I got to stream. And streaming is a major, it's hard enough to trade, but then streaming. So that's why I stream. It's all connected to my why. It's also why we're going to ghost. It's also why in the future, we're going to have a series of things that we're working on behind the scenes that when they're officially in place, I'm going to go to the alphas and say, hey, we've got the next phase. The plan now is to go stealth and ghost, and everything's going to be gone. Everything's going to be, we're going to delete everything. Everything's going to be gone, and we're just going to roll with the alphas. So I want to be alive for that. I want to control some of my fate. It might not happen. I'll say, there's a possibility, a 1% possibility that we don't go out that way. But at this point in time, everything that I'm doing is leading towards
Order
going out
filled.
that way. Going out with a core group of people that we've put in place, and we have a series of tools, methodologies, and opportunities that allow us to go stealth. So, that's my why. That's why I show up. That's why I operate at this level. And then that's the prism that I view through. And then the other thing is, I'll just be completely upfront. I want you to be a good, successful trader. I care. I give a shit. Like, I actually care whether or not my training's good. I actually care if someone gets in my training and they actually become successful. I actually give a shit. I actually care if you watch my stream and you actually walk away with some knowledge. I actually care. Like, I fundamentally do not resonate with people that do not do things to the max, to the best of their ability, and don't give a shit. I do not And that's why I specifically talk the way I do around certain things, because I want the alphas are amazing, you know. I'm looking at creating my own prop firm, but I don't know if it's worth the headache, to tell you the truth.
Stop field.
So I'm looking at it because to me I know there's a percentage of traders that actually would be wildly successful
Stop
trading
field.
other people's money. I just know it.
Stop field.
I don't know what that percentage is. But before I do that, I'll probably recommend one prop firm that I'm looking at that I'm going to go and see, and I'm going to pass the test. I mean, they're probably going to look at me because their test basically says I can't make more than 30% of my total 10-day PnL. So I either have to like play within their stupid rules, or I'm just going to trade, and then I'm going to make 100% of the PnL within one day, and I'm going to continue to do it. And then they're going to have to like figure out whether or not they want me as a trader. That's what I'm going to do. So we'll see. I'll work within their little dumb guidelines, but we'll see. But then I'll say, hey, look, I have a trading group, a methodology that follows my methodology. And if you think that this is
Stop field.
is unique, this is my expectation of any trader that comes to your prop firm. Obviously not that level, but my expectation is that the trader that comes to your prop firm is going to be probably in your top 3% traders that you have in your prop firm. Any trader I send to your prop firm is going to be in the top 3%. So that's my expectation for any trader I would recommend to your prop firm.
Stop field.
And call me arrogant, whatever, but that'd be my. So I'm not going to recommend a prop firm until I get approved. I go through the process. I do a withdrawal.
Stop field.
There's no problems with withdrawals. They don't make it difficult for me to pull out the money that I've made. They don't make it difficult for me to like trade. They don't try to pigeonhole me. Like, I'm not going to recommend one prop firm until I go through it myself. And I'm not going to document it either. So all good. Simply, have you tried Bybit or another exchange? No, I haven't. I don't think so. So I am serious about my own funding firm. I just, it comes down, is it worth the trouble?
Order filled.
We're just scalping now the close. We'll see if this actually sells or rips up. We're in 2 lots. GC, we'll probably should just get out of that trade. Where are we at on that? We're up $80. Yeah, we'll just get out of that.
Order filled.
All right. It looks like the NQ is going to punish us a little bit here.
Stop
Make us lose
filled.
about $100, $200. Sorry, $300 or so. $228. Anyways, I didn't plan to. I'm sorry if I bored people with my explanation of my why and stuff like that. I really didn't plan to. I only planned to like come on here and trade. I told myself, I'm not going to like go down the rabbit hole that I sometimes go down. Yeah, I think I would agree. A crypto FX funding farm is a quite red ocean. I think
Stop filled.
what I'd be open to discussing it. One of the things that I'm doing, and some of y'all know because some of y'all are involved, is I'm working on just building strategic relationships with people where we mutually benefit. No NDAs, none of that crap, not starting a company, not anything like that. But part of my philosophy in doing that is, okay, if we can find a way to work together and we like working together, well, that's us starting our relationship for then some things that we could do in the future that is a little bit more structured. Because I've gone down the path before in my past life of starting a business, doing all the NDAs, doing all this planning, blah, 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 having all these future dreams, the plan, and then like we get to execution and then we're worn out, right? We're worn out and then just like, so the way I operate now is like hey, can we create a mutually beneficial relationship
Order
here
filled.
where even if both of us screw each other, right? we both trust each other at this point in time. But like, let's say both of us decide that we don't like each other.
Order filled.
And we want to just screw each other. Like, can we be mutually screwed? Meaning like, or are we not connected at the hip where both of us could walk away at a moment and like we're not screwed? Like we both got benefit from the time that we spent together and we worked together, and you know, we don't have to go through all these NDAs and all this other crap. Like, so I have a couple individuals that were working on that, and then I am seriously working on other aspects where, hey, it would have to involve other people, and there's opportunity in those realms. But I'm very cautious about the moves that we make, because if we're going to make a move of that magnitude, we gotta, like, it's got to be so clear, and the execution has to be so precise in my mind. And we can't get unfocused on the other things that we're working on that are just as impactful. But no, I do agree with you, Banger, on there is a crypto options funding, you know, the futures FX funding, a proper online based prop firm that is licensed is the true blue ocean. So there are prop firms that are licensed, but most of them, the majority of their traders are pulled from physical offices. There's one prop firm out there that's kind of inching their way into this space. But there's either totally online prop firms, or they're the prop firms are, and I'm just on one trade here on the NQ to see if we can catch maybe a spike on the close. Or they're totally online, non-licensed. It's like a casino. Basically, you might as well just sit down at the craps table. I mean, it's not the same, but like you're not trading live capital. They're not making real money off you. So that's what I'd ask. If you're a successful trader at one of these prop firms, and then like you're not trading live capital, they're not benefiting from your trades in the market. And the 10% that they supposedly make, or 20% or 30%, they're not benefiting from that. What is their business model? That's what I would ask. So yeah, I agree. There is a huge opportunity. The problem with the crypto space is that, at least from my perspective, crypto traders fall into two mix. I mean, the really good crypto traders really have no need for a prop firm. So it's the traders in the middle.
Stop
and then
field.
And then it's okay. How many traders in the middle, just statistically, can trade the crypto market? Even if they're given a system, right? And then why would they choose to go to a prop firm?
Stop field.
The true number I don't know, that I'd like to know, is how many people can't get capitalized that could be good traders. That's the true number. Like, how many good traders are there out there that just aren't good traders just because they personally can't raise the capital to be good traders? All right, we're going to end the day right around 14,000. Kind of a sad time. Didn't hit 15,000. We'll see if we can share some of the breakdowns here. Chocolate, giddy up. Any other questions? I know I just kind of went off on sharing. Well, I mean, I was answering questions based on people asking about my why and stuff, but, you know, I think good traders should still do well with small capital. Yeah, no, I agree with you there. I agree 100%. But, you know, I think there's an aspect of, if you think about it from a psychological aspect, right? If you're a good trader, well, number one, it's so hard if you like only had like $2,000, right? And to build yourself up as a trader without taking immense risk, like, is very difficult, and most people don't have the patience to do that. You do develop the patience eventually if you want to be a successful trader, because you make enough dumb mistakes where you say, okay, I made so many dumb mistakes, I'm not doing that anymore. But I do think that there's an element that if people were capitalized correctly, they'd be, well, no, actually I know it for a fact, because the large trading, blocks and the large trading firms, that's exactly what they do. They pull from the Ivy League, and they, or wherever they pull from, and then they teach them how to trade the Goldman way. But also there's so many other factors in whether or not Goldman is successful. But, yeah. If you only trade with 5K and suddenly get 50K, most people will still take profits or cut out losses too quick without scaling in mind. Yeah. Because you do have to you have to grow up to that, that capital level. Well, the other thing that's unique with a prop firm that the only reason why I would consider it going down that road, because with the prop firm also comes tools. So, you get into the prop firm, you adopt the system, you make it your own, but then you also have access to tools that don't exist. And you can go two ways with tools, right? You can create we could create a tools web. Like I could create, if I wanted to, I could create a Tradeovate tool platform that would have trading tools and then go out there and sell it to the marketplace. But then I'm just creating a product and I'm dealing with customer support. And if I'm involved in any aspect of that, I'm not happy. So I could create it, but I can't be involved in running it because I don't have, that's why I've never created it. I have no intention of managing a software as a service business again. I can be maybe some role as far as the I don't know, idea executive chief trader, but I cannot be involved in the day-to-day. If I'm involved in the day-to-day, I wouldn't do it if I was involved in the day-to-day. It's just not worth it for me. I got too many other things I care about in life than to do that. Yeah, so I don't have any good prop firm right now. That's the last one I struggled with when I first funded a 150K account. Yeah. I mean, you're right. I mean, because people, they put value on the money. They don't look at it as just a larger number. They don't realize I'm just trading my system. What would I do if I was trading my $1,000 account? Or what would I do if I was trading my $5,000 account? Right? That's what they don't ask that question. All right, here's my PnL for today. That's not it. 14,036. Winning trade 67%. We had one big loss here, which was kind of annoying. Had another loss here, but then I kind of turned it around. And then you can see here just kind of the PnL growth. I don't know. I don't really ever, I guess my expectancy is at $114. My longest trade was 51 minutes. My average trade time was 14 minutes, 37 seconds. We go to losing trades. I have a little bit more losing trades than I'd like to have. So that tells me that I was fading a little bit too much on this. One of those was a CL trade I was scaling into. The max drawdown was 4,500. That was a bad CL trade. I just entered that position a little too early. And if I would have held it longer, I would have actually profited really well. I just got out when the market gave me an opportunity and didn't look back. Didn't go back to that trade. If you are watching, one of the best things you can do is join Discord down below. If you're ready to get started, send me a DM and say, hey, how do I get started? How do I become an alpha? It's one-time fee, $9.97. You just can't join the training. You got to ask to join. I will be streaming in the morning, then we're going to play poker in the afternoon. So that's the plan right now. I didn't stream this morning. I just had other things we need to do. We have a backup of a lot of things that we want to get out there, a lot of things that we want to release. So we're just backed up as far as things we want to get released, things I want to push out. Thanks everybody. Banger, thanks for being here. I think it's Banger. Banger. Naj, I don't have a good prop firm for you because I haven't tested one. Jack, Jules, everybody else that comment, thank you. Look forward to seeing you. I'm releasing the Bitcoin update video here. That will be released here tonight, or here in a few minutes. Actually, we'll upload it right when I actually get off the stream. So everybody, I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Join us in Discord, and we'll see you tomorrow. Everybody have a good day. We'll go out like we usually do.
knew that shit before I walked in the room.